The idea for Palatov Motorsports was born when Denis Palatov wanted to upgrade his shifter kart into an actual track car by constructing a full-size exotic with a naturally aspirated V8 engine sitting next to the driver. This was a radically new idea. Every other all-wheel drive supercar places the engine either in front or behind the cockpit, using a heavy and complex drivetrain to divide power between the front and rear axles. Palatov instead used a chain-driven system to send 350 horsepower to all four wheels, with just an 1,100-pound curb weight. And Palatov was just getting started. The next step was to design a street-legal, closed-cockpit DIY kit car, integrating Palatov's genius engineering work into a usable daily driver. Denis Palatov grew up outside St. Petersburg, Russia, but he was always fascinated by Western cars. After moving to the United States, he ended up owning a few niche enthusiast projects, including several Lotuses, a Westfield kit car that he built himself, and an Ariel Atom. But the computer engineering major wanted to create something even more unique, a lightweight, all-wheel drive supercar for his own track day use, unrestricted by the regulations of any racing league. He got the bizarre idea of placing the car's engine where a passenger seat would normally go, in the same style as his Honda shifter kart, creating a balanced weight distribution and lightweight drivetrain. But his concepts were quickly rejected when he pitched them to a student-led Formula SAE team. Rather than take no for an answer, he simply decided to build it himself, and 4 years later, the Palatov D2 was born. The D2 can only seat a single occupant, because your passenger is a 3-liter Hartley V8 engine. It makes 400 to 500 horsepower depending on the tune, and it's paired with a Hewland 5-speed sequential transmission with electronic paddle shifters. The whole thing is covered by an optional one-piece carbon fiber exterior shell, and has full underbody ground effects for improved downforce. Palatov says it offers the same performance as an LMP2 race car, at about half the size and a tenth the cost. But he recognized that, as incredible as his creation was, it wasn't practical for the average enthusiast to own. As he entered the niche track enthusiast market, customers began to request a more street-friendly kit car, something that they could build at home for the occasional track excursion, but was equally comfortable on public roads. So Palatov decided to take what he'd learned from the D2 and put it into a street-legal, daily drivable supercar slayer. What resulted is named the Palatov D2. The original prototype began its life as an open-wheel car, but for the final production model, Palatov collaborated with a German design studio called Zukun Plan. Zukun has worked on similar projects like the Bauer Catfish and a number of Power Wheels designs. What they came up with for Palatov is about the same length as a Lotus Elise, but as wide as a Lamborghini Diablo. It has vented fenders, aggressive side intakes, and a sizable rear wing. Functionality was clearly at the forefront of this design, but it still manages to integrate attractive styling like the futuristic LED light strips and stylish curves. In order to make the D2 more practical than the D2, it uses a traditional mid-engine rear-wheel drive layout. This allows it to comfortably seat 2 passengers, though the cargo space is pretty much non-existent. The custom frame is TIG welded from aircraft-grade chromoly tubing. Suspension comes in the form of a double wishbone setup with non-adjustable inboard Penske shocks, and it grinds to a stop with Willwood 4-piston brakes. As with most kit cars, the engine and drivetrain must be supplied by the customer to finish the build. In this case, the Palatov D2 chassis is set up to accept an LS3 crate engine from General Motors. It's the same engine used in the C6 Corvette, and it makes 430 horsepower stock. The 6.2-liter V8 has a redline at 6,600 RPM and produces 425 pound-feet of torque. This particular engine was chosen because it's emissions compliant in all 50 states, allowing the completed kit car to be registered for road use in most cases. Various transaxle-style gearboxes can work in the car, including a Hewland sequential unit or something taken out of a donor Porsche or Subaru. It's sold as either a roadster or a coupe, with available upgrades including air conditioning, forged-line wheels, and an electro-pneumatic paddle shift system. The final weight of the car will depend on your build specifications, but it's possible to complete a D2 with a weight of less than 2,000 pounds. It's also possible to convert the kit to fully electric, foregoing the LS3 motor in favor of instant torque from a 3-motor, 1,300 horsepower setup from a company called Cascadia Motion. The batteries and inverters will push weight up to around 3,500 pounds, but a car equipped with this setup still managed a top speed of 197 miles per hour on the Bonneville Salt Flats. Some minor adjustments to the gearing could easily push it over 200. Palatov Motorsports has continued to expand their lineup with new offerings. While the D1 is their halo track car and the D2 represents a streetable kit, there are still 2 more models in their roster. The Palatov D4 is envisioned as an entry-level track build. Unlike the powerful V8 used in the other models, the D4 utilizes a high-revving motorcycle engine taken out of a Suzuki Hayabusa. This power plant is significantly cheaper than an LS3, and better on gas too. But it still produces around 185 horsepower, which is even more impressive when you realize just how small the D4 truly is. It blurs the lines between a track car and a go-kart, with a weight of just 800 to 900 pounds. It's also offered with all-wheel drive and can be turbocharged to reach over 300 horsepower. Finally, there's the Palatov D8. Still in the concept stages, the D8 will be an exclusive hypercar, limited to just 8 units, each one being heavily customized to order. Projected output is around 900 horses, from a similar all-electric drivetrain that was used in the Cascadia Motion D2 build. Weight should be around 2,200 pounds, thanks to an all-carbon exterior. It will also integrate technology from Denis Palatov's tech company, Modbat. He hopes to revolutionize the EV battery market with a new modular system that allows software to isolate each individual cell of the battery pack, enabling easy configuration and maintenance. The Palatov Motorsports lineup may be more affordable than an LMP race car, but it certainly isn't cheap. Their entry-level model, the Palatov D4, starts from $93,000. If you want a D2 kit, you'll be sent back $138,500, plus the cost of sourcing your own drivetrain. And if you don't have the skills to assemble it yourself, Palatov Motorsports does offer a complete turnkey version at a whopping $222,700. It's certainly not an affordable alternative to other exotics, but the exclusivity and high performance may make it worth the price to some. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to subscribe for more kit car content. Thanks for watching.